What's going on, boys? We got a trade recap today for Monday, May 4th. Took a break-even trade today. We'll go over the bias, what I was looking for, why I went break-even, and why this trade actually ended up failing. You can see I'm down a whopping $16 on my account. Honestly, this was a beautiful entry, but first, before we do anything, let's get into the daily bias. In the Discord, I put that we had a big retracement rebalance overnight during a London session, holding a 4-hour gap. Would ideally want to see continuations to all-time highs after this rebalance. This is what the market looked like. And I had this 1-hour gap, this 1-hour bearish gap as my condition, right? If we close above it and displace above this 1-hour gap, showing that we want higher, then I'm willing to take longs. If we end up holding it and get obvious displacement lower, we can potentially target this sell side down here, because I eventually think we could come down and tap this daily fair value gap down here. So those are my thoughts. And then I also said that also keep in mind that all-time highs is high resistance right now after sweeping the internal highs and putting in an SMT with ES. So be cautious and go break even relatively quickly if longs present themselves. So this is going to be the main premise of this video, and we talked about it before, being at all-time highs. Sometimes we come into the market open and all-time highs are what we classify as high resistance liquidity. What does that mean? It means that we've already swept out these internal highs once, multiple times we've swept out these internal highs, failed to go lower, and then we also put in a bearish SMT with ES. You can see ES over here did not come up and take this high. NQ did. Multiple sweeps on liquidity, and then we get this big sell-off. So this becomes high resistance liquidity if we actually do end up wanting to come back and try to push back up to that high and take it. But what do you know? We initially get this move up. We try to push up to that high resistance high right here, and then we fail. You can see now we're getting the rebalance. I'm already locked out and logged off and locked out for the day. But now, like, you can see how clear this displacement is. This would be a great opportunity to potentially go short if we get a rebalance and a flip here. But I'm already locked out for the day because it is past 11 a.m. New York time. But you can see this failure swing, and it fails because this is high resistance liquidity. So I did take a trade. I did take an entry, so I'm going to put the live recording in right now. All right, love that 15-minute candle close. It's also the hourly candle close and validating this hourly gap. Exactly what I was looking for. So if this trade ends up not playing out, there's literally nothing to regret about it, in my opinion. Bro, what? Dude, I don't know what that candle was. Holy. Some sort of war news? I don't know. Alright, I don't like that 5-minute close. I would have wanted to see us close above that internal high that was just put in. But zooming into the 1 minute, we're kind of just, the 1 minute chart, we did close above that internal high, and we're just kind of rebalancing to a big 1 minute fair value gap. So I will continue to hold it, but if we do come back up to where this internal high is, I will probably go break even there. Yeah, if we come back up to that internal high, I'll go break even there rather than this original break even point. We'll see what happens though. If we take that internal high, I'll go break even. I'll go break even at this internal high. The best thing when you're taking a trade on the higher time frames is just to remain zoomed out, right? Like, The lower time frames right now look kind of chopped. Even the 5-minute right now, considering this current price action. 15-minute, not the best 15-minute candle close after this one. So then what do? Zoom out even further. 1 hour chart looks great. This next hourly candle is already open and put in a low. Great displacement and validated the bearish gap. Like the next target is literally this internal high and then all-time highs up here. That's where this displacement and this 1 hour chart would be telling me that we're going. So just being zoomed out helps a lot with holding trades. We'll see what happens though. It is a no news Monday, so that's probably why there's lower volume right now.
Order filled.
All right, I went ahead and took it off there. Just complete lack of delivery. I don't know, at this point in time, like, do I really still want to be sitting in this trade on a no news Monday? How long have I been in this? For 40 minutes, and it's been 40 minutes and we still haven't delivered 30 points. Like, I don't know. The thing is it's a no news Monday, and this is high resistance highs. If this wasn't high resistance, if it wasn't a no news Monday, I don't know. So yeah, everything about this trade entry was textbook. 1 hour chart looks amazing here after displacing and closing above this hourly for value gap. Very strong 5-minute, 15-minute candle closes above the internal highs that were put in right here. I then put a limit order to get filled for a 1.2 RR on a little bit of a retrace when the next candle opens. Stop loss was right here, I believe. Yeah, right here for 1.2. And we eventually did come up and take the original break-even point, and then we rejected from there and failed and dumped lower now. And this is the one thing in my trading right now that I for sure know that I can improve on is just avoiding all early exits when it comes to my trades, right? Because you can see this would have played out towards this internal high, or towards the original break-even point up here, and then I think this is going to be the live video, but I said live time during the trade, okay, if we come back up to this internal high that was then put in, I will go break even here. So both of these would have played out, and I would have gotten break even regardless. But yeah, if there's just one thing that I can improve on, it's the early entries. I already told you my analysis and my thoughts of why I did close this a bit early because of being a no news Monday, and then also because it is higher resistance liquidity. My thoughts are, okay, we've chopped around here for 40 minutes and we failed to deliver 30 points from where my entry was. Chopped around for 40 minutes, and my thought process is, okay, even if we are going to come up and take the original break-even point, there's like still a lower probability that we're going to expand all the way to this high resistance high and take this liquidity. Even though it is all-time highs, I realize that it's high resistance, and I just realized, you know what, it might not be worth the risk. I've already given this a shot. ES was becoming a bit stronger at the time, and took it off a little early at my break-even point. But if there's one thing that I can improve on, it's just trusting my drawn liquidity, trusting the higher time frames, because like on the 1 hour time frame, when this hourly candle comes up and closes and disrespects this 1 hour for value gap, there's literally no way, honestly, if you're zoomed out to the 1 hour chart, that we're not going to come up and take this internal high. I don't know. There's just no way. I tried to stay zoomed out as much as I could. Um, Ended up exiting a little bit early. Would have gotten break even regardless. But if there's one thing that I can improve on personally with my own trading, and it's important to recognize this when you are, it's important to recognize this when you're journaling your executions. How you can improve. There's sometimes there's things to improve on even when you take a good trade, even when you take a winning trade. There's still things that you can improve on in journal. This is one thing that I can improve on is the early exits, and just not even making that part of my trading, because it's like you early exit here and then we originally take the break even point. It's like, wow, like, I don't know, I feel like it's not a great feeling. Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense logically to early exit because of all the things that I've already said. But still, not something that I'm a huge fan of. And right now, it looks like we're tapping this 5 minute after this displacement. See if we get good reactions from here. This could be like a literally textbook flip. If this closes down here, you can take a short here. We'll see how this reaction is. But that's going to do it for this trade recap. I don't know why this just froze here. But yeah, that's the trade. That's the live trade, live execution recap of today's session. And that is why this move higher failed to take this liquidity, because it is high resistance. And it's as simple as that. So protected capital. Like I said, you wanted to go break even relatively early, like pretty quickly, if longs were presented. I literally said that coming into the morning, having that defensive mindset because of the high resistance liquidity. So that's about all I got. I know a lot of people took longs and got break even here in the Discord. So very good job of mitigating risk and going break even. Yeah, if you want to join the free Discord, it'll be the first link in the description below. Also, code FST on all of your favorite prop firms will get you the best deals. It'll support me, and I'd appreciate if you use my code if you want to. It is Alpha Futures, Tradeify, Lucid, and Apex Trading. Code FST will get you the best deals. Apex is like 90% off. Tradeify is 40% off, and Alpha Futures is 25% off. They just came out with new premium plans. They literally have the best rules in the trading space, in my opinion. So in terms of still on this 50K account, in terms of scaling, gonna be a tough decision with who I want to end up scaling up my trading with. But other than that, that's all I got. That's the market recap. Appreciate you watching. Let me know if you took a trade or not, and I will see y'all tomorrow in tomorrow's recap. All right, peace out, boys.